So today we are going to make a New Year's freeze-dried meal. And the tradition is, at least down south in Mississippi, was on New Year's you'd have black-eyed peas, collard greens, and cornbread. And they all had a meaning. The black-eyed peas are to simulate coins. The collard greens are bills, like dollar bills. And the cornbread is gold, like gold. So you start out eating the year eating poorly the first day, and then the rest of the year you eat wealthy. So we are going to make a black-eyed pea collard green stew, I guess you'd call it, or casserole or soup or something like that. And what we got here is we got 1 pound of black-eyed peas. I'm not a huge collard green fan, and I'm doing this solely for New Year's. So I got a small can, which is 14-ounce can of collard greens. You can use fresh if you wanted. You'd have to cook it all up first. And I got 2 pounds of lean ham steaks. I buy these steaks because they're really easy to chop up, and they're 98% fat free. 2 green bell peppers, 2 sweet onions, very large, and some celery. And this is my holy trinity, so we're going to be using that. And we're going to be using some garlic, some slap your mama Cajun seasoning, and I got 2 boxes, 32 ounces of chicken stock. I don't know how much of that we're going to use. We'll see as we go. So, let me get these vegetables prepared and everything sorted out, and I'll be right back. Okay, so we got my 4 ham steaks. We're each 8 ounces each, so that's 2 pounds of cubed ham steaks going into the crock pot. And here's my holy trinity, Cajun trinity. We got green bell peppers. That was 2 green bell peppers, about 6 stalks of celery. All these are coarsely chopped, and 2 sweet onions going into the crock pot. Okay, so the black-eyed peas, I'm going to do it according to the package here for a quick soak. So what we're going to do is we're going to put the whole pound bag in here. Then we're going to add about 6 cups of hot water, bring it to a boil, boil it for 2 minutes. Then we're going to remove it from heat, cover it, and let it sit for an hour. Then we'll drain them, and I'll be right back for you. It'll be an hour or so for me. Okay, while my beans are soaking and rinsing, I'm going to go ahead and add 1 carton, 32 ounces of chicken stock to this vegetable ham mix. I want to start getting this cooking down. I got an hour to wait on that. So I'm going to put my crock pot on high for an hour while those beans are soaking, and hopefully some of this will cook down by then. I'll see you in an hour. Okay, I've rinsed my beans the quick rinse way, and I had this cooking for about an hour. I'm kind of worried that I'm going to run out of room in here once these beans cook up, but I know those vegetables are going to shrink down a little bit. But here's my beans that I've rinsed, and I'm going to stick those in there and hope for the best. I'll keep an eye on it. So let's see, I already added 1 box of 32 ounces. I'm going to add another box of 32 ounces of chicken stock. I'm going to add 3 teaspoons of 4 teaspoons of minced garlic to this, and which is basically 4 cloves. 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's 4 cloves of garlic. And I got some liquid smoke. I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of that. And 2 tablespoons now we'll go 3. I like spice. 3 tablespoons of Slap Your Mama Cajun seasoning. We're going to give that a good mix. Now I'm not going to add my collard greens to this until right before the end. We don't need to overcook those. We want these peas to be totally covered in liquid, so I'm going to keep an eye on that. But I'm just going to say add enough water to just cover those peas with everything. We'll keep an eye on that. Put the lid on that. Now we're going to drop this down to low. We're going to let that cook probably between 6 and 8 hours. And I'll let you know how long we cook this. So, we'll see you in a little bit. Okay. Well, my beans are over here cooking away. They've been on for a few hours. I mixed up a box of Jiffy cornbread mix according to the box directions. And I used the silicone liner in my tray here. So you probably want to use a silicone liner or parchment paper or something. I like the silicone liners. And I poured that over this. Then I had to spread it out with a spatula because one box, it was very, very thin. You could probably get away with using 2 mixes, but I only had 1, so that's what we used. It was 1. Then I put that in the oven at the recommended temperature on the box for 16 minutes. Now it's cooled down kind of. So I got my dividers, and I've got it, you know, as many positions as it would hold for the dividers. I haven't counted them. I guess 1, 2, 3, 4 times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 40. Got it in 40 sections. And I'm just going to press these in here. Bear in mind this is cool. And that cuts them into very nice little portions. What do you think of that? Now these are going to be thin. And I kind of want thin. It's almost like a cornbread cracker. Because that's how I'm going to eat them. I'm going to mix them in with my rehydrated black-eyed peas. So there you have it. That's all there is to that. I just wanted to add that into the video. I'll get those in the freezer. I'll get my beans out of the crock pot when they're done, tray those up, and get those in the freezer, get it all frozen solid, and then out of the freezer. But I'll probably come back and show you the trayed up beans, how those look. So I'll see you in a bit. Okay, those beans have been going for 5 hours. They've been going for 5 hours, and pretty much I think they're done. The beans are kind of soft, which is what I was looking for. I didn't want too hard of beans in there. Hopefully the softer they are, the better they'll rehydrate. So what I have here is my collard greens, and I'm going to drain this. Then I'm just going to add that to my crock pot. Like I say, I'm not a huge collard green fan. If you like collard greens a lot, you can put more in there. But I'm just doing it for the prosperous new year. We're still on low heat. And that stalk is really, really nice. But it's very soupy. So I'm just going to leave the lid off. We're going to let that cook on low for another hour, which will bring it up to a total of 6 hours. And then we'll ladle out our beans and tray them up. I'll see you then. Okay, we are going to call that good. Now first I'm going to fill these trays up using my slotted spoon. And then we'll put some of that beautiful stock in there too. Alright, let me get another tray. I am shooting for 3 trays this load because the 4th slot is for my cornbread. Okay, so there we have it, 3 trays. That recipe filled up those 3 trays very nicely. A little bit of stock left over. I could probably strain and make a little bowl for me with the leftovers for dinner tonight. So I'm going to let this cool down a bit, and then I'm going to pop those in the freezer, get them frozen solid, and into the freeze dryer they'll go. I'll see you when they come out. Boy, what a rough week at work. I extended the drying time on this so much I couldn't begin to tell you how long it really took. So sorry about that. But here's my black-eyed peas and greens with cornbread. So if this ain't drying, ain't nothing gonna be dry. Because we went many hours on that. Alright, so let's get my cornbread squares out. So I'm going to package 3 squares of the black-eyed peas. Boy, those are just falling apart. And I'm going to put 4 cornbread squares. And see, that was just 1 box of Jiffy. You could have actually done 2 boxes in here and they'd have been a lot thicker. But actually that kind of looks like a nice cornbread cracker, so I'm kind of happy with that. What I'm going to do with those is just slip those in a Ziploc bag, 4 of those, for my bowl of soup, or black-eyed peas. And we're not going to Ziploc that shut or anything. I'm just going to roll it and tuck it in with my peas. Alright. Get that sealed. And I'll put it off to the side. What I'll do is do the rest of these 10 meals, and then I'll come back, open these up, and put a 300cc O2 absorber, re-ziplock it shut, and put my double heat seal. So, without further ado, I'm just going to do this, and I'm going to press pause on the camera. I'll see you when these are all packaged up. Okay, there we have it. 10 bags of black-eyed beans, black-eyed peas, and greens with cornbread for long-term storage in a prosperous new year. So I'm going to get these all put away, and I'll do a taste test probably tomorrow afternoon for lunch, and we'll get that cut into this, and I'll see you then. Okay, it's finally time to test my black-eyed peas and greens for my Prosperous New Year freeze-dried. Had these packed a couple days. Got busy, went out for breakfast and had a huge breakfast yesterday. So today we are going to do my taste test. Alright, that's what it looks like on the inside package. We're going to take out our cornbread and our 300cc O2 absorber. Quite a lot in there, but I guarantee you when I fill that up it's going to get smaller. And I got a cup of hot water from the kettle. We're just going to put that whole cup in there. And I'm going to seal that shut. Make sure everything got some water on it. Leave that sit for 2 minutes. I'll see you in 2 minutes. Okay, it's been 2 minutes. So let's open that up. Give that a good stir. Good stir. Get all that flavor mixing around in there. I'm thinking that ham might be take a little bit longer. I'm gonna steal a piece out of that. Zip that back shut again. Let that sit for at least 2 more minutes. Let's see what this ham's doing while we're waiting. But that's good flavor. But the center of that is still a bit chewy. The outside of it is pretty nice. So I'll see you in 2 minutes. Okay, 2 more minutes. I'm hungry. We'll give that one more stir. That's what it looks like in the pouch. Let's get it dished up. Does that look good or what? That looks very good. Alright. I'm going to put put my 4 cornbread, I almost call them crackers because I made them very thinly, in there. I'll put 2 in there for now. And we'll get a nice close-up of that. Okay, that gets a 10 out of 10 for appearance. Let's see how it tastes. Oh yeah. That is good. I like the big chunks of ham that I put in there, but hindsight is 20/20. And when I chew into this, the very center of that is a little bit chewy. And I think I would rather, instead of cutting them in the nice squares that I like them, the cubed ham, but for freeze drying I think I would do them in matchsticks. Cut it in thinner, like matchsticks, thinner strips, and that would rehydrate perfectly all the way through. Or, because that piece was almost completely done, just give it a little bit more time to rehydrate. Let's get some of that cornbread on there. Oh yeah. That cornbread just adds a little rusticness to it, I guess. It's actually a very rustic dish. Like I say, I'm not a huge fan of greens, but this mixed in, I think it's about the perfect quantity because it has got a really nice flavor to that. Just a little bit of heat from the Cajun seasoning, which I like. Nothing would be more boring than a bland, unflavorful bowl of black-eyed peas. And this is seasoned to perfection, let me tell you. This is really, really good. I put tons of ham in here. And the longer it sits in this, the better the quality of that ham is. In fact, I've been eating this probably 2 or 3 minutes, and that ham is almost perfect right now. I'd say it's pretty close to, you couldn't even tell it was freeze dried. So if you got time, just add a couple more minutes to that rehydration, and you are going to end up with a very nice bowl of black-eyed peas, collard greens, ham, and cornbread. To start out your prosperous new year. I can't remember if I put it in the video or not, but the black-eyed peas symbolize coins. The greens, collard greens, symbolize bills, dollar bills. And the cornbread is for gold. And that's how the Southerners eat on New Year's Day to have a prosperous New Year's. Those black-eyed peas, rehydrated perfectly. Texture on them is absolutely spot on. Well, I am very proud of that meal. That came out perfect. Collard greens and all. That was good. Well, this is John and Bibbs wishing you a prosperous new year. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.